This week on WSRH Extra, we'll take a look at rugby.
Plus, a student here is cutting people's hair.
Plus, a miraculous story about someone's first.
WSRH Extra starts now.
They're competing for.
Welcome to this week's episode of WSRH Extra. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Connor. This week, we're anchoring from where we got our start to this wonderful news career of ours.
This week, we're putting a spotlight on a student here at the Ridge, Keith Greiser. Let's go to Rebecca Wise to find out what makes him so awesome.
Trapped in a wheelchair and nearly unable to speak, life is not easy for Keith Greiser. Keith suffers from cerebral palsy, a condition caused by abnormal development of parts of his brain that control movement, balance, and posture. To communicate, he types using a button behind his head to type into a special computer. That computer then speaks for him.
It is difficult for me to communicate, but I don't worry about what people think. I do the best that I can speaking aloud. I also use a computer called a Dynavox to help me communicate my thoughts and ideas. I realize that it is my connection to the world.
Despite all the odds that seem against him, Keith says he is winning at life.
Growing up was normal for me because my family and my friends really didn't treat me any differently.
While he is limited in activities that many of us may take for granted, he says he still has a lot of fun.
For fun, I like to go to the movies and the mall. I love going out to dinner with my family and friends. Another thing I like to do is drive my power chair on the grass at full speed. It is more fun that way.
Keith says being different can bring unwanted attention, including bullying.
Yes, I have been bullied. When I eat out in restaurants, people stare at me and make fun. But I had a friend who would strongly stick up for me, so that would stop really fast.
Like everyone else, he has good and bad days.
My best day was May 15, 2013, when my new baby brother was born. The worst day in my life was the day that a girl that I was madly in love with left my life. The way I look at it is that it is her loss because I am one good-looking SOB.
This year, Keith will graduate with the class of 2015. Many of his classmates may not know this, but Keith is actually 22 years old. And this will be his final year at Seminole Ridge, but he will leave with a surprise for his parents.
Walking has always been a big challenge for me. I have been practicing for about 18 months with Miss Rose with a specialized walker. 2 weeks ago, we were walking and I was amazed when I realized that Miss Rose let go and I was walking on my own. It was awesome. The last time I walked on my own, I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Keith hopes to be able to actually walk across the stage and receive his diploma. That should make graduation extremely dramatic. And we hope Keith is able to take those big steps. For WSRH Extra, I'm Rebecca Wise.
Rugby is a new sport to South Florida, with it growing in popularity. WSRH Extra reporter Nick Seltzer tells us what it's like to play this rough sport.
Rugby, considered at one point by most Americans to be the most confusing and pointless sports in the world, has skyrocketed in popularity in the last few years, especially in places like Florida. 2 students at our school, James Dodge, captain of the Jupiter Sharks rugby team, and Greg Henry, a newcomer to the sport, have embraced the sport as their own. Greg has some insight of why people may have thought this.
It's a complex sport, people don't really understand how to play rugby because there's a ruck, there's a scrum. Instead of running backs, it's just called a back, and you got different set of backs, and you got wings, and instead of linemen, you got forwards.
There are many aspects to the sport of rugby, as it is really a blend of several different sports. Greg says that this blending really brings the sport into its own.
Football is almost like rugby, just with a little twist that has like the soccer back form of it too, where you can kick the ball and stuff. So I was used to the aspect of rugby because soccer, was right there, and I played soccer for a little bit, and then football was just a good twist of both sports into one.
As with any sport, rugby requires a lot of dedication, and overall is very demanding, and teamwork is required to succeed.
And you gotta be very dedicated to it. Most of the guys are out there 24/7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays for practice. And it's not just like a player, like one player course, but it's a whole team.
Rugby is a memory sport. It's the most you can say. You play rugby, then you got the cojones to, say, hey, come out and play with me, unless, you're scared to break a bone. It takes all your fears away once you get on that field.
Rugby continues to grow in popularity throughout the U.S. and especially in South Florida. For WSRH Extra, I'm Nick Seltzer.
More than 1,000 student journalists from across the state gathered for this year's FSPA convention. Let's go to Alexis McRory and Michael Loizo to find out what that was about.
I'm Michael Loizo.
And I'm Alexis McRory.
And welcome to FSPA News.
From paper and pens to tripods and lens.
And from black and white to bold and bright.
FSPA has definitely evolved.
Which has led us to this year's theme, Revolution.
And this year we picked Revolution, but there are two components to this theme. It's Revolution and Evolution. Because there's the evolution of journalism from the printing press, typewriter, and so on to the iPhone and Twitter.
What has been your favorite part about the convention so far?
When my mom's students went on the stage.
I think Revolution is amazing, and as a model, I use cameras on a daily basis, so it's really interesting to see the difference between cameras from back in the day to cameras now and how much they've improved.
Never seen anything like Revolution. This is inspiring. It is outside the box.
We are currently minutes away before opening ceremony starts.
The excitement is really high in the air. As you can tell, people are filing in. After a long day full of hard work, the first day of FSPA 2015 has come to an end.
Reaching the maximum number of students ever attending FSPA, this is only the beginning.
For FSPA News, I'm Alexis McRory.
And I'm Michael Loizo. Remember, stay connected on Twitter with the hashtag FSPA 2015.
Building 5 had a terrible smell coming from it last week. Connor Nugent follows the smell to find out why.
As you walk through the halls in the science department, the smell intensifies. But why? It's Shark Week after all.
The shark dissection is a complete survey of all the systems working together. So when the kids finally get finished from start to end, they know every part of the shark, from the fins to the internal organs to the very parts of the brain.
This is the dissection that students have been looking forward to all year long.
So basically we've been doing a bunch of labs this year and they're fun, but the shark one is the one I've been looking forward to the whole year.
My favorite part was cutting through the muscle and then also skinning a little bit of the shark and looking at it underneath a microscope.
Now for the answer we've all been waiting for. What is that smell?
What is that god-awful smell? It's the oil that the liver produces continually throughout the 2-week period that we cut the sharks open.
What is a shark's favorite hobby? Anything that he can sink his teeth into. For the Education Network, I'm Connor Nugent, keeping you informed.
If you love jazz, then this next story will be music to your ears.
WSRH Extra reporter Alex Willingham finds the rhythm with this next story.
Jacob Perry, a junior here at the Ridge, plays guitar in the jazz band, playing a Good Vibes lunch.
Well, Good Vibes Week is all about having fun with no substance abuse. And one of the ways that everybody can have fun is with music. And the jazz band is here to provide music and fun.
He is telling us whose idea the Good Vibes lunch was.
It was mostly the idea of SGA and Miss Long and some influential people in there who get nice things done like this.
We asked what he liked about the Good Vibes lunch.
I really dig it. It's cool. I like being able to play anytime, and I love being able to play for the student body because it's one of my things I like, so I definitely like the atmosphere.
For WSRH Extra, I'm Alex Willingham.
A lot of students do things to earn money, but this one student in particular is cutting hair. Let's go to WSRH Extra reporter Alexis Hurtado.
Some students play sports, others go hunting. Karlos Torres, however, does something a little different.
I started cutting hair about 5 years ago when I was in 8th grade. I started taking it serious about 2 years ago when my friends started telling me like I should get involved, like charging people, and that's when I knew that I could do it as a living because I actually love doing it.
To get to the point where he's at now has taken a lot of practice and dedication. He wasn't always as good as he is today. Everyone starts somewhere.
Oh my God, you're messing my child's hair. Do not use him as a guinea pig. That's what I really thought.
Oh, I felt like a guinea pig because he used to mess me up a lot.
Just like anything else, you face struggles along the way. Karlos faced a few himself.
The blending work, learning how to blend, it was a procedure, and I practiced a lot on my brother. I messed up a lot, but I got it down.
After messing up time after time, he finally learned and continues to improve day after day.
Now I beg him for a haircut every week because they come out really good.
I think Karlos is a really good barber. I think he's actually really dedicated to his work, and I mean, although he has a lot more, obviously, that he's going to learn, he knows a lot, especially for teaching himself already.
At times it's hard. Some people feel like quitting, but Karlos never felt that way. He knew that he had potential to become Karlos the Barber.
Never I wanted to quit. Everybody always loved my work, and everybody always told me I had talent, so that never crossed my mind.
He's definitely come a long way from where he started, but his parents supported him every step of the way.
They always told me I could do it and to never give up, so I'm still going at it.
I think he's going to be very, very successful. He's going to make a lot of money doing something that he enjoys very much doing.
Remember to always follow your dreams, because someday you'll make it. For WSRH Extra, I'm Alexis Hurtado.
Many of you know Ryan Collins as the kid who runs around the courtyard.
But what you may not know is Ryan is actually on the track team.
Christina Costanza has the story.
Running, a simple movement that some may or may not enjoy. Some may do it for exercise or the enjoyment.
Because I love to run, it's so awesome.
But running is more than a hobby to senior Ryan Collins. Some of you have probably seen Ryan running in school, and he knows it.
Yeah, I do it so much I even run in school sometimes. You obviously know I do it.
Ryan did not just develop this passion for running overnight.
Ryan has always had a passion for running as long as I can remember. At 3 years old, he was running when we lived in the Florida Keys, up and down the road everywhere he could. He just loves to run.
Ryan might not be at every meet, but he is at every practice trying to help his team.
He plays in the team as he is motivation to all of us. I mean, we see him out there running. He motivates us all. He's just a great guy. He really brightens the team. Some days when our workout is really hard, we can always look over to Ryan, or Ryan can come over to us and he can just work out hard with us. He can come play with us. He's just a great member of the team. He plays a part as, not only is he kind of like our mascot, but he's also our motivation to get better.
We wish Ryan the best of luck in life. For the last time, I'm Christina Costanza for WSRH Extra.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of WSRH Extra.
Signing off for the last time, I'm Natalie Berdicia.
For the last and final time for WSRH Extra, I'm Connor Nugent.
Boy, Mr. Wright, what can I tell you? 4 years of having to deal with you and all the torture. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of fun. Funny moments. Mostly through comedic relief of me.
The past 4 years with you, Mr. Wright, has been amazing. You taught me how to be a better person, a better editor, and a better reporter. I'll miss you and I love you, Mr. Wright. See you later.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I just want to thank you for the great experience in the last 3 years in your class. It's been a great time, and I just want to say thank you again.
Thanks, Mr. Wright, for being such a great teacher for 3 years. I wish I would have taken your class last year, but definitely had some good times in here, and I'm going to miss this place a lot.
Thank you for forcing me to go on camera when I was a TV2, because I know if you didn't, I wouldn't have been an extra this year or last year, and I probably wouldn't have anchored or anything. And with doing that, it made me realize I really wanted to be in broadcasting when I'm older, and that I want to be on TV, so thank you so much.
Mr. Wright, I really like to thank you for everything you've done for me over the last 4 years. Not only have you helped me become a better writer, but you gave me, a good experience, for coming from TV to winning that award last year.
When I first started TV production, I had no idea if I would like it or not.
But when I got into it, I actually started to like it, and I found out how creative I was. So thank you, Mr. Wright, for helping me find my creativity.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, for teaching me everything you've taught me these past 4 years. You're an awesome teacher, and I'll never forget what you've done.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright, for all you've done. I hope you never forget Class of 2015. We'll miss you.
Over the past 4 years, Mr. Wright, this place has become like a home to me. I'm always in here. You're always trying to kick me out. Just thank you for inspiring me with journalism. I wouldn't be anywhere that I am today without you. And just thank you for everything. Love you, Mr. Wright.
3.
Oh, good.
1.
Restart, hold on.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Okay.
Hang on, I got to finish my drawing answer.
But when we'll always be friends.
I'll go on TV when I'm older because of you. No, that's stupid. Please delete that.
Say thank you, Mr. Wright, for helping me.
Alright, you gotta go.
I gotta go.
Spit it out.
Fine, I'll spit it out.
I haven't even put any thought into this.
Goodbye, Mr. Wright. Come on.